وما خلقت الجن والإنس إلا ليعبدون.
Now, we want to view the book Tuhfatul Atfaal, والغلمان. Now, so we are going through the book Tuhfatul Atfal, والغلمان. So we want to view the sharh, that is, we have to make the explanation of the book Tuhfatul Atfal. And I pray that Allah grants us the understanding, and I pray make it easy for myself to deliver to you. Na'am. So I would want to pass uh, about two instructions. Number one is that the book Tuhfatul Atfal, I would want every participant in this class to have it memorized, and inshallah I'll give you the number of lines that you should memorize. So we are going to deliver you would, by the end of the week, you would, I'll give you a number of lines you are going to memorize anyway. So I expect that you have memorized it uh, by the time we meet in the following week, inshallah. Now, so for today, I am not going to start the content of the book itself. Rather, I would want to make an introduction for the book itself. I believe you can hear me clearly now, because I got the complaints that I can't be heard clearly. If it is good now, I would like Muhammad to inform me if it is okay by now. طيب طيب. Now, so like I said, I'm not going to go into the book itself today. Rather, I would just want to say one or two things as regards the author of the book and the content of the book itself. It's good for us to know about the person who authored the book we want to view, and of course, before studying a book, it's good to have a view of what you want to learn in that book that you want to study. Now, talking of the book, it was authored by Sheikh Sulaiman ibn Hussein ibn Muhammad Al Jamzuri. Sheikh Sulaiman ibn Hussein ibn Muhammad Al Jamzuri. There will be need for you to have a pen and a paper beside you to take note of these things I'm saying. So that's his name in full. So, but most times we hear people say it's Sulaiman Al Jamzuri. So his full name is Sheikh Sulaiman ibn Hussein ibn Muhammad Al Jamzuri. And he was born in the land of Tamta, or I should say, the city of Tamta, in that's in Egypt, and that's in the year 1163 after the uh, hijrah of the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam in the month of Rabi'un al-Awwal. So, and he was actually referred to as Jamzuri. Why? Because Jamzuri is the land of his father, so he was ascribed to that land. So that is that about the name of the author and where he came from. Now, regarding his teacher, or I mean particularly now, not just his teacher, I mean specifically the person he learned the knowledge of Tajweed and the Qira'at from, that is, knowledge of Tajweed and Qira'at. So he learned it from the scholar he mentioned in his book, which is in the first about first 5 lines of this book. He mentioned the name of his teacher in one of those lines, which is Sheikh Nuruddin ibn Ali ibn Umar al-Mihi. So Sheikh Nuruddin ibn Ali ibn Umar al-Mihi. So that's why you find it in the book. If anybody here has memorized any portion of the book, particularly the beginning part, you would have come across the line of that book that says "An Shaykhin al-Mihi dhil Kamal." So that's the name of the author of the book. So now he has also authored several other books as well. Not only Tuhfatul Atfaal, he has authored several other books. And of course, starting with Tuhfatul Atfaal itself, which is the book that we are viewing now, he also authored a sharh, that is an explanation of Tuhfatul Atfaal, which is, he named it Nazmun, he named it what? Fathul Atfal بشرح تحفة الأطفال. So that's a sharh of Tuhfatul Atfal itself, made by the author of Tuhfatul Atfal. And of course, he made another poem for Qira'at, the 7 Qira'at. And of course, he named it what? Kanzul Ma'ani بتحرير حرز الأماني. So, and several other books like that he had authored. Yeah. So, I wouldn't want to mention so many, but let me just mention one more. He also authored, he created a poem as regards fiqh of Imam Shafi'i, and of course the name of the book is الدر المنظوم في عذر المأموم. الدر المنظوم في عذر المأموم. So that's the name of the book he authored, and he made a sharh for it. When I say sharh, I mean an explanation for the book of الدر المنظوم في عذر المنظوم في عذر المأموم, regarding the fiqh of Imam Shafi'i. And the name of the sharh he made for this book is الطراز المرقوم بشرح الدر المنظوم في عذر المأموم. الطراز المرقوم بشرح الدر المنظوم في عذر المأموم. So, of course, Allah took his soul on a Saturday night, the 8th day of Dhul Qa'dah, in the year 1227 after the hijrah of the Prophet Muhammad. I repeat, Allah took his soul, that is, he died on a Saturday night, on the 8th day, 8th of Dhul Qa'dah, in the year 1227, 1227 after the hijrah of the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. So that is a brief explanation or a brief talk as regards the author himself. And in that we have discussed his name. We discussed the name of his teacher, who he learned Tajweed and Qira'at from, and he mentioned a few number of books that he had authored aside Tuhfatul Atfal. Of course, we talk about the novel itself. This is the poem he wrote, and the name of the poem, of course, known to everybody, Tuhfatul Atfal. That is not a secret to anyone. So Tuhfatul Atfal is the name of the poem, and of course, it has about 61 baits, 61 lines of. It has 61 lines in it. So that is as regards the name of the book and the number of lines in it. Now, talking of the topics that are in the book Tuhfatul Atfaal itself, which is the major thing we want to go through. Now, generally, he actually, Tuhfatul Atfaal is a book of Tajweed. It's a book of Tajweed, and of course, Tajweed is the ruling guiding the rulings that guides you on how you recite the Quran and the way you should recite it, so that you recite the Quran the right way. So, of course, that's the major thing the book is talking about. And of course, it is important to let you know that the book Tuhfatul Atfal is related to the Tajweed rules that Sheikh Sulaiman Al Jamzuri mentioned in Tuhfatul Atfal are the rules that have something to do with the beautification of the Quran, to beautify the Quran, while you are reciting it, to make it beautiful. Those are the things he mentioned there, But there is something that is very, very important that he did not mention in this book, and that is the actual thing we call Tajweed itself. That's the actual thing we see as Tajweed itself, and that is the makharij al-huruf wa sifatuha. So that is the aspect that talks about the points of articulations of letters and the attributes of letters. So that is the major thing we see as Tajweed. But Sheikh Sulaiman Al Jamzuri did not mention it in his book. So, but he decided to, if you remember the title of the book itself, he said Tuhfatul Atfal, a gift for what? For the young ones. Do you get now? So he made it. So that's the name he gave to the book, and from that we can sense that that's probably why he did not want to discuss something broader as regards the Tajweed rules. That is talking of Makharij al-Huruf wa Sifatuha. So he did not mention that. He only discussed issues that has to do with beautification of the Quran, and of course, that's something that has to do with Nun Sakin I'll mention that very soon now. So, that is generally that's what the book is, talking about. طيب. And in the book, of course, he began the book with the praise of Allah. It says, يقول راجي رحمة الغفور دائما سليمان هو الجمزوري, to the end of that chapter in that book, because the book is sectioned in chapters, chapter by chapter. So the first one talks about, he praised Allah, he introduced himself as Sulaiman Al Jamzuri, and of course mentioned the name of his book as well, which is Tuhfatul Atfal that we are treating now. And then he mentioned from whom he acquired the knowledge of Tajweed and Qira'at. The person he actually acquired knowledge of Tajweed from, which is what? Which is who? Sheikh Nuruddin Ali Al-Mihi. I've mentioned that person before now. So that is for the first chapter of the book. Now, when we have the second chapter in the book as well, which is talking about the rulings governing Nun Sakina and Tanween. Nun Sakina and Tanween. And of course, there are four things under that. He mentioned Ilhar, Idgham, Al-Iqlab, and Al-Ikhfa. So those are the four things that we'll talk about, and we are still going to explain when we get into the book Tuhfatul Atfal, inshallah, in the coming lectures. So after that, he went further to the next chapter, which I can call the third one, talking about Hukmul Ghunnah. Hukmul Ghunnah, the ruling governing nasalization. When we talk of Ghunnah, we mean nasalization. And it created just one line of poem in that chapter, and says, وَغُنَّ مِيمًا ثُمَّ نُونًا شُدِّدًا وَسَمِّ كُلًّا حَرْفَ غُنَّةٍ بَدًا. So that's that for the third chapter. The fourth, he named the fourth chapter is talking of Ahkam al-Mim al-Sakina. It's talking of mim that bears sukun. The mim that bears sukun. No, I'm not saying nun al-Sakina in this case. Mim that bears sukun. So whenever you encounter a meme that bears sukun, what are you expected to do? A person reciting the Quran now encounters a meme that is bearing sukun. What should he do? So we are going to talk about the rulings that surrounds a meme that is bearing sukun. And of course, there are three things under that: al-ikhfa, which is the first, idgham being the second, and al-idgham. And of course, we move to the fifth one, which is ahkam al-lamat al-sawakin. Lambs that bear sukun, lambs in the lambs that bear sukun. I mean lamb, harf, the letter lam in Arabic alphabet that bears sukun. So the ruling governing those type of lambs. And there are two things after that. Of course, he named that chapter specifically as حكم اللام ال ولام الفعل. So in that chapter, we split those lambs that bear sukun into two. Lam al and lam al-fi'l. When we say lam al, what does that mean? We're talking of lam shamsiyah and lam al-qamariyah. So that's what we mean by lam al. And and of course, if some of you have done something that has to do with Arabic well, you know that those two lambs, lam shamsiyah and lam al-qamariyah, the lambs of ta'rif. What does ta'rif mean? To make something definite. The lambs that you use to make something definite. For example, you say al-kitab, ash-shams. So the lamb that we use in making something definite. So that's lam shams and lam al-qamariyah. And of course, we talk of lam al-fi'l, the lamb of the verbal lamb. That is the fifth chapter. And then we move to the sixth chapter, talking of al-mithlayn, fil mithlayn wal mutaqaribayn wal mutajanisayn. These are rules of idgham. الإدغام المتماثلين إدغام المتماثلين وإدغام المتقاربين وإدغام المتجانسين. So this chapter is talking about the Arabic alphabets and the relationship some of the alphabets have with others. The relationship some of the Arabic alphabets have with others. When we get to that chapter, we'll discuss it better. And of course, the last chapter in the book is the seventh, talking of al-mudud. And he told us that the al-mudud is split majorly into two aspects, which is al-tabi'i, which we also know as al-mad al-asli, al-mad al-tabi'i, which is also known as al-mad al-asli, which is the basic mad. And of course, he mentioned al-mad al-far'i as well, and he further explained that al-mad al-far'i and whatever is related to it. And made us know al-mad al-far'i, of course, there are several things under it. Under al-mad al-far'i, we have al-mad al-muttasil and al-mad al-munfasil, mad al-badal, al-arid al-sukun, and al-mad al-lazim. So those are the things that are under what's that? Al-mad al-far'i. So and of course, he further mentioned explaining al-mad al-lazim. Explaining al-mad al-lazim, he made it clear in the book that there are four things under al-mad al-lazim, and that each when we talk of al-mad al-lazim, each of them, each mad, any mad that we call al-mad al-lazim, I'm coming. Mad al-lazim can either be found in a word, and it can either be found in a word or found in a letter. It can be found within a word or found within a letter. And either of the two can be light or heavy. So this is just a kind of summary. When we get into the book, inshallah, we will discuss it better. And of course, he ended the book with by praising Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, just as he began the book. So that is an introduction, an intro for the Tuhfatul Atfaal we want to view. So we have discussed about the tarjama of the Sheikh, that is talking about the Sheikh himself, and we have discussed what we are expecting to learn from the book. And inshallah, in the next class, inshallah, we are going to go deep. We are going to move into the book itself. So I pray that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala makes this beneficial for us in this life and hereafter, and He puts His barakah in it for us. Pray He makes it easy for me to teach like I've done before, and make it easy for you as well that are learning to understand. So I would want to hold on here, inshallah. I want to stop here. So with this I would end the class. سبحانك اللهم وبحمدك أشهد أن لا إله إلا أنت أستغفرك وأتوب إليك. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته.